How's it going, guys? Um, Today's video is gonna be a little bit different than what I normally do. Uh, Last time I did something like this was 2 years ago. So yeah, we'll see how this goes. Gonna talk about One Piece because I love talking about One Piece, and I can literally sit here and talk about One Piece all day. But that's besides the point. Gonna be talking about chapter 999, and then I have some ideas about 1000. I had some ideas before going into 99, not before going into 999, but I yeah, didn't record a video in time to upload it before I read chapter 999. So yeah, so here we go. Chapter 999. 9999. Ooh, words. Chapter 999. The last chapter of the year. The last triple digit chapter of One Piece. We going into the quad. My words don't work sometimes. Going into the quad digits. That's probably not something you say, but I don't care. So, let's just start from the beginning, yeah? Starts out the chapter with the Ace flashback, which was kind of exciting. I think the last flashback we got with Ace was at the very beginning of Wano. Wasn't even really a flash. No, it kind of was, I think, right? I'd have to. But yeah, with words, it's fine. Hold. Yeah, no, I can't remember her name. The small. What am I doing? She's in her name's in the chapter, but small mochi pinches cheeks, controlling animals person. So we get Ace flashback. Starts off with Ace fighting Yamato. Yamato? Yamato. No. Yamato, right? Gosh, I'm so bad at this. Yamato. It's just nice little fight. Ace is like, I've come to wreck Kaido's face. And Yamato's like, bro, there ain't nobody here for you to wreck. There's not even any officers. And Ace is like, what? They're like fighting, and Ace is like, hold, how are you not even an officer? Or even captain? How someone as strong as you ain't even in some sort of position of power? And they're on an expedition, which this would put it, I don't even know what the timeline would be here, but Kaido and his fools have gone off somewhere, kind of important. At the same time that Ace has happened to be here and is like, yo, let's wreck these fools. You know, him in his spade pirates. But I guess, yeah. And Yamato reveals herself, you know, to be the daughter of Kaido. I'm going to be honest with y'all. Wasn't sure for a good while what Yamato's gender was. So, yeah. I don't know. It's weird. The Yamato's like, ain't nobody here, fool. Like, can you stop killing everybody? And so they stop. They chill. Or at least, well, they don't stop, but unless they stop wrecking everybody, and Ace just fights Yamato, which, as we've known in past, fighting your enemy, you learn about them. Same thing with Garp and Roger. Same thing with Luffy and Smoker, I would say. Whitebeard and um, Sengoku. So yeah, you learn about your enemy as you fight them, and so más o menos, they know each other ish, learning things. It's like after a bit, it's like obviously Ace feels the whole, like literally Yamato's like, I hate my dad, and Ace is like, mood, friend, mood. And so they get to talking about that, and Ace is like, why do you let him chain your heart too? Which I'm guessing, I'm assuming, my assumption here, the thing that makes the most sense for the One Piece world, he's talking about her dream to sail the seas. And she's like, I wish I could leave. Cuts off the head of the statue. And as soon as I have the ability to, I will bounce from this place. But, and so Ace is like, yes, good. Good, young Padawan, you are learning. And he burns up the statue. And that's his warning to Kaido that when he returns, it's going to wreck your crap. Face and whatnot. And then, well, in classic One Piece fashion, they drink after. Because that is what always happens. There's always a feast after a battle. Even if it's with your enemy, it happens sometimes. So that's when Yamato's like, I swear, once I get these handcuffs off, I will go out to sea. Now, for me, honestly, I see that as foreshadowing. I think at some point here, I feel like, don't know why it hasn't happened yet, but maybe it happens chapter 1000, maybe next chapter, maybe after that. But I feel like at some point Luffy's gonna be like, well, come out to sea with me and rip them handcuffs off, because he can do that. He's got that whole, I mean, he took the collars off of him and Hyogoro, little short old man dude with the Hawaiian shirt, did that with their collars at the prison. So, but then again, they are sea stones. So, but if he don't, I'm sure like Sanji or Zoro or Jinbei, even someone will take the cuffs off, and Yamato will join the Straw Hats, because, yeah. I would have thought, before I thought maybe one of the Scabbards at the end of Wano would join Luffy, but I think it makes more sense for it to be Yamato. And so they have that. And then they're all talking about all things, what's going on outside the world of Wano. And Ace is like, I mean, there's some people who making a name. I mean, people talking about Kevin or something or another. Something guy. I'm like, Cavendish. So there's a mention of that. Some people are thinking that might be a mention of some people might be thinking that's a mention of what's it called? My brain is blanking. It's fine. It happens all the time. Of the Grand Fleet showing up in Wano Country. I'm kind of iffy on that. Maybe. I don't think so, though. Because they're pretty scattered at the moment. Some of them are at Reverie. Granted, I don't know the exact timeline, but Reverie might be over by now. But I'm not sure. But like we saw some at the Reverie I mean, they're all doing their own thing right now. Literally, Oda said in that chapter after when they got formed, it was that they would all get stronger and meet up again at the final war, or get stronger in preparation for that final war. So I don't think I don't think we'll see the full Grand Fleet before that. It's possible maybe Cavendish shows up with his crew, maybe Bartholomew shows up, like maybe a part of them, the Grand Fleet shows up. I don't think the whole Grand Fleet will show up though. I feel like Oda's saving the entire Grand Fleet showing up for that last final war. So we may get parts of them here and there, but not like the whole group. I don't think that's gonna happen. Then he's like, oh, we got, what was it? Law to the north. I think, yeah. Law to the north. Right? Hold on. Yeah, Law in the north. Kid in the south. Beige. Beige. In the east. Or Gang. Right? In the west. But Luffy's from... But he's like, oh, but the best one of all of them, my brother, ain't gonna be setting sail for a few years. But he gonna be big time, which honestly, I mean, you look at the names that he mentioned, and Luffy has made, I mean, Law and Cavendish are part of the Grand Fleet. And Beige Gang is made an alliance with Luffy and is on his way to Wano country. So like that's why I think at the very least we'll see Cavendish and Bartholomew show up and not the whole Grand Fleet. I feel like the names they mentioned there be showing up for the final act of Wano, but not the whole fleet, right? And so, but I mean, look at Luffy. He is big time now, just like Ace said. And Yamato sees that. And so, and it's like, how many times, well, how long you gonna talk about your brother, fool? Shut up about your brother. But it's like, hey, and I get it. Sometimes you brag on your brother. I brag on my brother a lot. So, yeah. It's like, the truth is, I wrecked the statue, but he's the one who said it was the warning to Kaido, which is like, yeah. But they never met up after that. Like, never happened. So Yamato doesn't know the second part of what happened there. But we see later, after this whole conversation of Momo freaking out, going, wait a minute, you Kaido's kid? What? And then we get the Otama, that's her name. Otama and Nami conversation talking about Ace. And Otama mentioning the fact that Luffy was like, yeah, he told me Ace died, but he didn't do it in a very nice way. And Nami's like, I mean, you know that was a pretty bad deal for him too, right? And tells Tama basically about the whole fact that Luffy is Ace's brother. We go back to the dance floor place, right? The battle there. Marco's healing people, or at least, you know, keeping them from turning into full ice demons or whatever. And he's just like, Nico Brook. Well, he's like, Nico Bone Sama. Nico Robin, Bone Man, get into the castle. Which, I don't know. I don't know who Brook is going to fight. I really don't. Oh, you know what? There's that part where they skipped, where Jinbei and Luffy skipped by going to the ladder, and there's people waiting at the stairs, and they're like, yo, why ain't they coming? I feel like that's going to be Brook's fight right there. And Robin is definitely gonna help Sanji, because the boy needs help so badly. And so that's where I think those two are gonna go. Brooke's gonna pop off again, so I'm kind of excited for that. Then Marco has grabbed Zoro by the talons and is flying up towards the dome, which honestly, with the exception of the fight, may put them either around getting to the dome around the same time as Luffy, or even maybe a little bit before. But personally, I think it'll be like literally you'll see Luffy Yamato running up the stairs and coming up from the stair side, and Marco and Zoro coming up from the hole. And yeah, that's actually kind of exciting. That would be so cool to see. And so they're going up there. Marco, we get that flashback with Ace of like, oh, you ain't Whitebeard telling Ace, now you ain't going back to Wano country. And Ace is like, but I made a promise. And then that's when we get the, I don't know if it was revealed before, because I thought Odin went on the ship with Roger, but maybe before he went on the ship with Roger, or after he went on the ship with Rogers. I don't remember. I know he went on 2 ships, right? 2 different 2 different escapades to the sea, I think, right? So apparently at some point he became 2nd Division commander of the Whitebeard Pirates, and that was a vacancy for so long because he was it, and they didn't know he had died until years later. So like, who knows the timeline on that? And Ace is just like, but bro, like, let me go. And Marco's all like, Odin couldn't beat him, you think you can? Or Whitebeard said that. You see Blackbeard all laughing. Yeah. Whatever, right? Doing Blackbeard stuff. And Ace is upset because he made a promise and now he can't keep that promise. And I love that it's Marco and God, I wish I could remember his name, but the guy with the gun that kind of looks like he could be a samurai, but apparently isn't or something. It's like, if Pops lets you go, send me an invitation. And Marco's like, yeah, I'd be interested too, which is so great because now Marco is here helping Luffy out. Honestly, I'm like seeing this, and it's Luffy is keeping Ace's promise. He's got his own reasons for doing it, but it's literally the same thing Ace promised. So it's great. He's flying up, and Queen and King are like, Queen's all like, you trying to run from us, fool? You can't do that. You can't get back up, but through us. You can't just fly right on up there. It won't even matter, because them samurai be dead already. He's like, you can't just go past us. But at the same time, it's too late to go past us. They dead already. Like, give up on that. And then once we kill Momo, that's it. We win. We own Wano. And I love what Marcus is like, if that's what you think, I mean, I hate to break it to you, but this new generation of pirates is kind of a thing. But yeah, something like that. I'm excited. It looks like it's gonna be a 2v2-ish. Right now, it's really only Queen versus Marco, which is not working. But King's about to join in that fight. So, Queen and King versus Marco and Zoro. It's gonna be cool. It's gonna be a lot of fun. Then Go back to Otama, finding out Luffy is Ace's brother. And she's like, oh, I might have been a little touchy there about that. That might have been a sore spot that I hit. Nami's like, nah, it's fine. If you touched, if he had been mad, he would have told you, which is true. You can tell from the way he told him that he was dead. Luffy wears his emotions on his sleeve. He ain't very good at masking them, and that's great. And then you get the Momo realizing Ace is Roger's son and Luffy's brother, which is, then you get the whole that the Momo bringing Luffy isn't just a coincidence, it's an act of fate, which is, I mean, honestly, yeah. Like, Ace came to Wano, promised to kill Kaido to both Otama and Yamato. Then years later, Luffy shows up on Wano, meets Otama, meets Yamato, and is trying to beat down Kaido. Like, there ain't no fate in that. I mean, there ain't no coincidence in that. That's some straight up fate stuff. And then Yamato's basically like, plus, Luffy's got the will of D, so that means something. Which makes me wonder if Yamato knows something about the will of D. Because, like, most people just kind of ignore it, or if they're, like, regular civilians who don't really know much about it, they're like, Goldie Roger? No, you mean Gold Roger. They don't really have the idea of the will of D, so, like, meh. But Yamato knows something. Pretty sure Yamato knows something. And, like, that's gonna... I want to see that reveal. Ooh. And see, when she says that, says, after all, Luffy's name has the letter D in the middle. And you see another little, like, speak bubble with the question mark, exclamation mark. And so, I feel like that's someone going, what does that even mean? So, I think... We'll see if that's I finish. Hold on. I need to finish, and I just shook my whole desk doing that. Then we get up to the top of the dome, and we've got conversation between Big Mom and Kaido, you know, talking about plans. And Big Mom's like, yo, you can kill all of them, but leave Nico Robin alive. Like really, Mom? Big Mom, you think you can do something that'll make Nico read you the poneglyphs? Like, come on. And Kaido's like, can't put into it? Then she got that whole ability. That's the whole point of her existence, right? Is to be able to read the poneglyphs. And Big Mom's like, I can't wait till she figures out how to do that. By the way, where are you gonna land the island? And Kaido's like, yeah. Kaido is gonna big time disrespect the Kozuki clan by landing the Onigashima on top of the castle. Big time disrespect right there. That's a symbol of, hey, how's it going? You done now. No more of this Kozuki clan stuff. It's all Kaido now. And that's when Big Mom's like, oh, so your road poneglyph ain't here, huh? And he's just like, slow down, Big Mom. I know what you want. Ain't it too early to be showing off your hand, showing off what you want? And Big Mom's like, nah, that's not what I'm doing here. That ain't what I'm doing here. And she gets all upset, and she's like, I still think of you as a little brother. And apparently, so on the day that rocks fell into ruin at God Valley, she's like, on the day rocks fell into ruin at God Valley, I gave you that legendary model of the fish fruit. You owe me for life, Kaido. Whatever you say. And then Kaido's just like, whatever you say, we can talk after we get it. The One Piece, that is. So obviously, Kaido and Big Mom have to go down some point. Don't think in this act, definitely not. But two things now, my two predictions on for chapter 1000. One, an explanation on what this, I don't know if it picked that up. An explanation on what this fish legendary model fish fruit is. So we know it's a fish fruit. So Kaido has a fish fruit, but it's a legendary model, which could mean anything. It could be an ancient, it could be a mythical, honestly. Ooh, what would a mythical fish be? But we'll come back to that in a bit. What would be a, I'll add on my thoughts on that at the end of this part. And so we get that. And also we get, I think, chapter 1000, we're going to finally get some info on this whole Will of D thing. I feel like Yamato's about to reveal some Will of D lore. And I'm really hoping that's what we get 1000. Chapter 1, your milestones with Oda tend to be big things. So, info-wise, I think it'll be Will of D lore. And maybe what Kaido's fruit is. But I'm not too big on the idea of the fruit. But definitely Will of D. And definitely Luffy finally making it up to Kaido. Luffy getting up to Kaido and starting the Luffy versus Kaido Big Mom fight is definitely going to happen next chapter. Because that's usually the way these things happen. Usually, it's either going to be the tragedy that we're all expecting to happen is going to happen next chapter and end the arc there. Or we're going to get the start of Luffy v Kaido fight. Because milestones tend to either be the end of an arc, the end of, or the beginning of a big fight. So like chapter 100 was them going up Reverse Mountain and doing the whole feet on the barrel, this is my dream thing. Chapter 200 was the start of the crocodile fight. Luffy Crocodile, the second fight, the main fight, right? Chapter 300 was the end of the Skypiea arc, and they're having that party at the end of it, and everybody's going crazy. Chapter 400 was the start of the CP9 versus Straw Hats in the Ennis Lobby arc. That's when you got the matchup of Sanji versus Khalifa, Zoro versus Kaku stuff. Chapter 500 is when we got the Oda box revealing who Rayleigh was, and the reveal that he is the first mate of Gold Roger. 600 was right after the 2-year time skip, when they all meet back up, and Rayleigh's all like, they're all on the ship, and they're like, oh, we gotta get Luffy, what's up with Luffy? And Rayleigh's like, don't worry, Luffy's on the island, let's go pick him up and let's start this journey anew. 700 was when they reached Dressrosa. 800 was the introduction of the Straw Hats Grand Fleet. 900 was when Big Mom ate the cake and stopped her rampage. And so they're always like these, like either beginning of an arc or ending of an arc or a fight type thing. So my thought is we're gonna get the Kaido v Luffy fight beginning in chapter 1000. And I really, really am hoping we can get more info on the Will of D. So that is my predictions for 1000. I'm excited. Oh, right. So legendary fish model. So here are my thoughts. The Big Mom mentioned the legendary fish model of the fish fruit. Now, my thinking here is that it's a koi model of the fish fruit. Many reasons for this. Throwing up a picture right here of Kaido. If you look at his left arm, those tattoos, before I thought they were dragon scales. But now thinking about it, doesn't make sense, because when he turns into a dragon, he's blue, but the scales are red. Now, picture of koi fish here. The scales on his arm look extremely similar to the scales on a koi fish. Now, here's my thought process. I still think that Kaido is a dragon who ate a fruit. He doesn't have the dragon fruit, obviously. Otherwise, Oda probably would have revealed that already. So I'm thinking, here's my thought process. My thought process is that first off, it's the koi. His tattoos are red. In Japanese, like the symbolism and mythology and what, like the symbolism of koi, a red koi represents strength and power, which obviously Kaido has. So that's that thing. And then I believe that the representation of which dragon that from Japanese lore, folklore, he might be, would be the dragon Ryujin, who is known as the Dragon King that wanted to eat a monkey's liver. Do you see a connection here? And also, Ryujin is one of the dragons known to have the ability to shift into to shapeshift to human form. So Kaido can shapeshift as like a dragon. Plus, Ryujin is usually depicted as a blue dragon. So I think Kaido is a dragon who ate a fish model koi fruit, and which is kind of funny because it's a little bit of a flip on the waterfall legend of the koi fish who kept trying to go up the waterfall and spent many hundreds of years trying to get up the waterfall, to the point when he finally reached the top. The gods were benefited his tenacity by turning the koi into a dragon. So it's kind of a flip. Instead of the koi becoming a dragon, it's a dragon who can become a koi. What abilities of having a koi fish, or the fish fruit model koi would be, I'm not sure, because devil fruit users are hated by the sea, so you can't really swim. So we don't know how that's going to work. But definitely if it's like a red koi type thing and it just basically boosted his strength and power, which would be kind of cool. So those are my thoughts on that. I'm definitely sure of the idea that it's that he's a dragon and he ate a koi fish fruit, which that's, yeah. So I'm excited to see when we get that reveal, how close that is to anything. But thanks for watching, and I'll see y'all next time. Bye.